thing on there.
Yeah. So, man, I'm gonna start us off, brother, with a little lick my skillet moment to get us kicked off.
Let's lick it.
Last night had the opportunity to go to a concert, Montgomery Gentry, man. Pretty pumped about it. There's some of those old songs like
Right.
"Something to Be Proud of" and stuff
Yeah.
that, man, I love. It's kind of cool story. I didn't grow up listening to country
Right.
at all,
Yeah.
and Brittany was a big country listener.
Okay.
So she's one of the first to introduce me to it because I always grew up on like the first CD I got myself, I think was like Kirk Franklin. So yeah,
Okay.
like I did that, and then like Christian hip hop and then some non-Christian hip hop and stuff like that. But like Brittany got me into country, and Montgomery Gentry was one of the first groups.
Nice.
And Gentry, he passed away, I think like 2017 because of a plane wreck. But Eddie Montgomery's still alive and kicking.
Mhm.
And I was really excited about last night. And I realized country singers, maybe all singers, I don't know, but definitely country singers have to play guitar. Because
Yeah.
he didn't play guitar and all he had was a microphone and he was like twirling it around and stuff like one of the color guard people.
Yeah.
He wasn't a dancer. So I feel like if I could sing, I feel like I could have done what he did last night because like his dance moves would be like, and
Yeah.
like,
Wow.
and then
Now I got
twirl his thing around. And
he probably wasn't.
so it was
Yeah.
it was one of those things, man. And I was worried about that. Like we had some friends and family and stuff at the show.
Yeah.
And it was just like, man, I hope this isn't one of those things where he's just not going to do well. Like I want to see him perform well. But then the entertainment became like, what's he going to do next?
watch.
Because he would every song they sang, he was like, "Oh, this is our number one, whatever. This is our number one, whatever. This is our number one, whatever." And
Oh.
then he started saying like, gosh, I don't want to be disrespectful to dude's name, but Gentry's first name, I think he called him like Elroy, and I could be wrong on that, but he's
Is
like
that his actual first name?
maybe,
Okay.
and he's like, but Elroy's favorite song or Elrod or something like that. His favorite song, and Joker had like 15 favorite songs.
I kind of hate I missed it.
Yeah,
And then I'm kind of happy I missed it at the same time. So I didn't like waste the trip, but
the amount of people that were at the beginning to the amount of people about midway literally cut in half.
that's not.
Yeah.
Usually you would think they have like a manager or someone that like, I don't know, make sure they're good, stops them from getting too far gone.
Right,
Like,
right.
I don't know. But
And he had the scarf. You know how like Elvis would always have the scarves and pass them out? Yeah.
Kiss the women.
Dude had scarves. And I don't know if there's a certain age in music that you get the scarf.
Well, you get your AARP card.
Right.
It's always back to that.
He's like 61, but I thought he was significantly older.
What?
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, he sang a lot of songs I didn't know about, like drinking and stuff.
Right.
And I think that's still his life, where
To the heart, just a little too much.
So the backup singers in his band were great.
They were good.
Yeah,
Well,
it's tough.
should have got
Man.
some videos, man.
I think we got a couple. I didn't personally get any, but
Yeah.
I think my wife did. So
Okay.
I'll send it over to you.
Well, let's go to the intro.
All right.
Well, I'm glad I missed it then.
I'd like to introduce myself. I don't believe that we have ever met. I think that we could hit it off so well. Let me paint a picture, you and me together. I'd like to introduce myself.
Hey guys, this is Mark,
This is Austin.
and welcome back to Life with Rojo.
Man, you got me thinking about my first CD that I remember buying myself.
All right.
I'll give you a while. Take a wild guess. See if you can even.
Christian or country or
It was
what?
country.
Okay.
Surprisingly, my mother.
Garth Brooks?
Ooh,
No.
I don't think you'll ever guess. It's a she.
Shania Twain?
No, that's a good guess though.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking 90s country.
Right track.
Trisha Yearwood?
Okay, no, that's like 80s country, right?
And who else is what's that girl with blonde hair?
You're on the right track. You're on the right track.
No, before that.
Yeah, Carrie's like
Carrie Underwood's
2000s.
later. She was like American Idol.
Yeah.
Leanne Rimes.
Leanne Rimes.
Dude, I had that feeling.
I think it was Blue was the CD. She had a song called Blue. And I think the CD was also called Blue.
Right.
And so that was my first CD, man.
That's awesome, dude.
James
So,
thing.
I think the first one I ever bought was Kirk Franklin, but then I got drawn by the world, man. And I think my next one was Kid Rock. So it's like, ooh.
They're not too far off.
Right.
Way. No.
Yeah.
I love me some Kirk Franklin. I love me some Kid Rock too, though.
Yeah.
I remember Leanne Rimes, she had a concert on Disney Channel that you could call in and sing a song like to the judges on the phone. And if you got selected, you would go to other rounds and then you could like perform with her at Disney World or something like that.
That was the dream, right?
Oh, that was the dream.
Yeah.
And I called in, I got through like a round. I sang Blue. It's one of her songs. And then nothing.
How old were you at this time? Like 12?
I don't even know if I was that old. I think I was like 8 or 9, maybe 10. But I was crushed, man.
Dude, there's the potential if you got on the Disney Channel that you guys probably would have got married.
We really would have.
Yeah.
She was probably 20 at the time. I don't know how old she is.
You know,
against the law, but
she would have waited until you turned 18.
You're listening. I crushed Blue on the phone back in 1990, whatever year that was. But
well, I mean, maybe not crushed it so much because they never gave you a call back.
So we'll take it there, Mark.
I'm sorry about that. I wanted to go on the Nickelodeon shows.
Oh yeah,
like Double Dare and
the slime and stuff. And all that. Yeah, that would have been fun. I missed those shows. Man.
But we stayed at the Nickelodeon Hotel.
I didn't know there was a hotel.
Yeah, it's in Orlando.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's not good.
I can't imagine.
And it's like they built it when all that stuff was popular.
Right.
They didn't really update it much.
I wonder if it's still around.
I don't know. We stayed there, probably 5-8 years ago, something like that.
Oh, I thought you meant like as a kid.
No.
You were there like 15.
I went with Shane.
Well, that sounds yeah, that sounds good. I feel like the Nickelodeon Hotel would do good in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
That just feels like it.
Or Pigeon Forge. They're the same thing.
Branson, Missouri. Awesome.
I've never been to Branson, but I've heard it's similar.
It's the Midwest Gatlinburg.
Right.
Or the Ozark, Myrtle Beach. Yeah, it's all the same.
Man, I'm pretty pumped about today's show. Like we're doing something a little different today, guys. So you're gonna have a little time with just Austin and I. But then we also have a couple different guests coming on at different points. If you remember, man, it's probably been a month ago now. We talked about this kind of crazy land situation in Ohio, where a guy buys like what he thought was a lot of land,
right?
Like a single lot for $5,000 and ends up like buying a whole like cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
And I don't know all the details to it, but he's going to come on today and talk to us about that a little bit.
I need to hear how he picks his buying.
Right.
I mean, how he did it.
Like, dude knows his investments.
He did good. And that was during COVID, right? Before COVID? I'll ask him.
Yeah.
It was a while back, though.
He probably knows a little more than we do.
A little bit. Yeah.
And then toward the end, like we're always trying to talk about like ways to better ourselves and fitness and health. And we actually have another phenomenal guest, Donna Jean Wild.
Oh, Donna Jean.
And she actually got a plank record, a Guinness World Record, for a 4-hour and 30-minute and 11-second plank.
With a name like Donna Jean, you just have to be like destined for something pretty cool like
that.
Like you cannot. I wonder if she goes by DJ for short.
I don't know. Like you should try to ask her that at some point. She's like, so Miss DJ,
can I call you DJ? No, Donna. Okay, Miss Donna.
And then just see like if she gives a look.
Yeah,
because I feel like you get a lot of looks, like
good and bad,
right?
And some just in the middle. You're not quite sure.
But I feel like some of them, like what I know about your mom, I feel like every once in a while there's a look goes your direction.
Disappointment. That's what we call that look. But a lot of trauma at this table.
What? Before we get into all that, you went down to visit the family this weekend. How'd that go?
I did. It was good, man. We every Labor Day, because this will come out Labor Day weekend or the weekend after.
Yeah.
We have a huge festival back home called the Apple Festival.
Oh, nice.
Thousands of people come, and there's vendors from all over, like food trucks and, like the different like crafts and things like that. So my mom loves going every year. So
That's
it's
cool.
kind of like a tradition. We go down there and walk around and get street food and hang out. So
That's awesome.
man, but the weather,
Oh man,
fantastic.
it's been nice.
It's like 10 degrees cooler there than it is
Yeah.
back here. So it actually felt like fall.
Did you have to wear like a flannel?
I did take a light flannel.
Yeah,
man.
flannel shorts.
It's like you know me. It's
Like
like
I know you.
it's like you were there. It's fine.
See?
But yes, I did wear a flannel and shorts. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good weekend.
That's awesome. So the Apple Festival, like,
Yeah.
can Blue Ridge do anything else? Like the Blue Ridge Mountains, I feel like all
No.
they do is apples.
Honestly, that's about it.
Yeah, like if you're in Blue Ridge, Georgia, if you're in the North Carolina side.
There's apple orchards everywhere. I will
Yeah.
say that. My dad even grew up like on an apple orchard. That's part of what they did in their farm and stuff.
Okay.
But there's a lot of apples. You're not
Yeah.
wrong. A lot. And I don't even like apples, really. Every once in a while.
I like them better, like made into things.
Like applesauce.
yeah, applesauce, apple pie.
I love apple pie. An apple slushy. You ever had an apple slushy?
Yeah, at the
In
Blue Ridge, Georgia apple place.
Yeah.
So, but no, Brittany made these things the other day. They were like apple dumplings with Mountain Dew.
What is an apple dumpling? Like I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever
I
had
think
it.
it's an apple with a home.
That's
Like,
nice.
yeah, it's like wrapped up
It's like a hug.
and baked and something. It might be
Is it-
like one of those what are those things you told me about?
like a frit.
Like a Danish maybe.
But yeah, because you don't know what let's not go on that. I'm still bitter that you don't know what a Danish is. But is it like is there like gravy, or like a sauce?
I
with
think
it?
the sauce is the Mountain Dew. Like it's a little thicker
Just, like,
than the
covered in
regular
dough.
Mountain Dew. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so it's not really like a Danish. It's
Okay.
like a dumpling, but
Like a dumpling.
Danish is usually dry and flaky, but can be.
Oh, I don't like flakies.
You wouldn't like it.
No, like when you eat one and it flakes on you.
Well,
Not loving
they're
it.
not all that.
Well, let's cut to our guest.
All right. Welcome back, Rojo family. Like Mark was saying, we have a great guest today. We're excited to talk a little bit about his journey and some things that's happened recently. We have Jason Fauntleroy with us today. So, Jason, man, it's nice to meet you, man, face to face.
Man, thank you for having me here and sharing my story with everybody. Like you said, it's been a journey, and to start the journey, I'm an investor from Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, and I look on sheriff auctions list to buy property. So that's where everything has started from. So with that, I saw a property. I thought, a nice place to, build a home and nice little investment. So I went for it, and you get 30 days. Once you buy a property from there, you get 30 days to figure out if you want it or not. You know what I mean? You can always, take back the bid and give it back to the city or whatnot. So within that 30 days, I'm just looking through the properties, and my daughter, I was at work one day, and my daughter had my paperwork out. My daughter, she was curious. She looked at a few things, and she brought some things to my attention. So it made me dig deeper into what I was getting. And with that, also went and got the title search and title insurance and property search. So when that happened, when I got that, they really didn't tell me what I was getting. Everybody was like, it's kind of like a secret, you know what I mean? Because it was unheard of at the time. Like somebody's getting the street and having all the rights, because that street, like most properties like that, private drives comes with an easement, and you
Right.
got the rules for everybody per se. But in this case, I read, and I understood that whoever did this property, they set it up for a HOA. And long story short, the HOA really wasn't set up correctly. It was in favor of the developers. So all these years passed, and this happened just before I bought it. This started in 1996. It's all documented. This is when the property got his label for the private drive. So as time went on, 2020 come, that's when I purchased it. That's when I dug into it. And I guess they thought that the HOA still had parts of it, but in reality, the HOA never had any parts of it. They just didn't have no parts because just how they had it set up. It looked like they did, but in reality, they didn't.
Right.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it's kind of complex. So you have to, it's not even really complex. It just, like I say, written on paper as developers, it made it seem like the HOA, but they had all the properties. So they had control of everything. So nobody wasn't asking no questions and it went by. So now fast forward, I got it. I understood what I was getting. Uh, and I guess they didn't. They didn't think I was going to understand the property, nor did they think that it was what it was. 'Cause like I said, all private drives come with easements. And
Mhm.
what they was looking at that HOA as like, okay, the HOA has all the rights to it and everything. But in reality, they didn't because the property that I purchased was a common area. So this was what voided the HOA is because I got the common area. So with that, you had to have insurance on that. So without insurance, the HOA is in default. So while the
Mhm.
HOA is in default, nobody can vote in the HOA. So that's how come that's how I gain control of it through
Wow.
written documents, you know. So
Yeah, I mean, that's impressive that you were able to, like, know all that, like, figure all that out because I feel like I'd be confronted with all that and be clueless, so you're very knowledgeable on these things.
well, it just sitting there reading it, and thanks to Google, word for word, anything I didn't understand, ran it past Google. That's before AI got real big, and just going little steps by that. So the little knowledge I would get, I'll call up an attorney and just ask them a question. And when I ask them a question, I'm like, okay, I'm not telling them what I'm trying to do, but just asking a question because they don't like giving up advice. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, when they tell me the answer to the question, I'm like, okay, then it leans towards, okay, I know what I got to do with this property. So with that comes me getting it, and like you saying, understanding it and getting control of it. Everybody around there, they was totally lost. And with that came a lot of problems, a lot of issues. So for the first 3 years, the residents up there, they had hired an attorney. Her name is
Mhm.
Amy Ferguson, and what she did was, instead of doing what an attorney's supposed to do and, okay, this is legally supposed to be this and this goes like that, she was
Mhm.
persuading things so it wouldn't be in my favor. 'Cause like you're saying, me being the only person that know this and not being a lawyer, not having all this in my background, it's just me versus all these other people who stood at the bar and took oaths and understood everything. So
Mhm.
these are the people I'm up against now. So for 3 years, that attorney told them people that the HOA was valid. And what she did was, when she was telling them this, she amended the HOA. Now, this whole
Mhm.
time that she's saying this for a few years, these people up there believe in her because she's an attorney. They're gonna believe what she say. Like rightfully, I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. You pay them. They're supposed to tell you what right and wrong, and you go from there. So, with that being said, the whole time she gave documents out. So there was 18 residents on the list for the HOA.
Mhm.
So you got to have 75% of the residents for any vote to pass in the HOA. The majority is a 75%. So she made a document. She's listed everybody that was involved in this HOA for, say, the documents that was already pre-written and everything.
Mhm.
So when it was time to pass the amendments, she only took 11 votes and passed it. And you can look
Mhm.
this up as public records. It's documented. It's also she also amended it not once but twice. This is how far they went to pull a conspiracy to make me feel like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't own all of this. This is part of the lengths that they went to that I had to deal with, and which was hard to really understand because, like I say, I'm not a lawyer. I didn't go
Mhm.
to the bar. And then when I go to lawyers, for me to have this type of property, everybody's at a and it's like they really didn't give me no full detail. No lawyer really gave me information on how to handle it or nothing. It was just kind of like uh, either they didn't want to deal with it or they just misguided me, And it's kind of a shame because like these are lawyers, and I went through at least 20 lawyers, and none of them helped me
Right.
easily. And then when I go buy a lawyer, I get them for a few rounds. Then when they talk to Amy Ferguson, then they quickly uh, they don't want my case no more. So I don't know what she was telling them to make them stop pursuing my case. That's something that you'll have to ask her. Like I say, that's an attorney up in Cincinnati. And like I say, the confusion that she caused in the beginning, which led up to a lot of things that went wrong. And
Mm.
like I say, this is stuff that nobody don't know about. I have records, so I don't. There's no problem saying names. It's documented. There's a matter of fact, she caused so much confusion with that. There's a video on YouTube. You can look it up. It's called "Black Owner of Private Drive." That's me, and that's me being fed up over all these years, her causing confusion. So when you look at this video online, you'll see you'll see some activity going on. And what happened was I was about to get that private drive paved, asphalted,
Mhm.
and I put barriers up. I let everybody know I put barriers up. I warned them, but once again, it's hard to warn somebody that this is my property and you got an attorney saying that it isn't.
Right.
So, that caused a lot of confusion. So in this video, you'll see me pulling on my property, a guy about to hit me with a car, but I'm really
Shit.
stating things because, like I said, the barriers was moved and nobody didn't get a hold of me. Nobody didn't let me know. It was
Mhm.
nothing. It was just like, okay, it's on his property. It doesn't matter. We're going to take it. Once again, these are the lengths that people had took to conceal, like, it was really a conspiracy theory, just making sure that it wasn't even supposed to get this far. Y'all wasn't even supposed to know about me even owning this. This is how much they wanted to keep it quiet.
Right.
So when the barriers got took and the police came, come to find out, the police took the barriers. They didn't let me know nothing. You can't take nothing off of nobody's property. Like, it's private property. Police or no police, if you agree with what's going on, you don't have that right to just come up and take something off somebody's property. Whether it's a lawn chair, a mailbox, a piece of mail, or anything. So with that, the police knew they was wrong, so they sent me a letter telling me stating to come back and get my barriers. But by this time, it was just so much confusion. Like I say, just fast forward and going back just a little bit to how I got the property and where some of the stuff I went through. So with that, I got the property, and that'd be self-explanatory because that falls in the fact of the attorney that was causing confusion because they wanted me not to recognize the property I have nor do anything about it. It's just kind of like, well, you own it and we can control it, and that's not the case. So yeah, it was a lot of people were just putting their jobs on the line that you wouldn't think like they would put it on the line. Like, I don't understand that. And like I say, with an attorney, wh- what what do you get out of just creating chaos when you can iron everything out? And the killer part was I realized it was a mistake and I was willing to give back the property, practically for what I paid for it, no gain or nothing, but when people trying too many nasty tactics and don't want to approach you as a human being or just a man and just want to just bully you, you tend to want
Right.
to fight back, and that's what
Yeah.
it end up happening. And And in that video that I was talking about, the same when you see that video, I didn't do anything, but I'm on my property, but I still got charged with aggravated menacing. Like I say, once again, another length of them wanting to take my property and me just tapping out and say, you know what, just take my property, have it, and I give up. But I
Well, it
didn't.
definitely you've had the journey for sure. Like you said, definitely sounds like you've had quite the journey for sure with all of this.
Yeah,
Like,
and what kind of sense is that when you can just easily talk to somebody like, at no time did anybody want to conversate with me. They tried too many tactics. And
Yeah,
like I say,
a
yeah,
lot
and
of the logical steps were skipped, and when they could have tried to talk to you about it, and it seems like you were wanting to be reasonable about it, but you didn't feel like they were willing to. They were just trying to get something over on you. You felt like.
it wasn't even felt like, I have documents. It's they written statements, you know,
Now, what's going on with the property now? Like, has there been any closure to it, or are you still kind of in the same place?
kind of same place with my attorney and just and they're doing that and just working out them bugs out and just coming to a nice agreement. But I say even just to get that property, I had to I had an option to either give up my freedom or that property, which is insane because I haven't did anything on that property for it to be in that case. So the prosecutor gave me a deal and said, well, you can give us the property and pay damages and walk away scot free, or you can plead to aggravated assault.
Mm,
Now the aggravated assault that I had to plead to, which is important in that video, is because they said that it's a baby in this video that I harmed or whatever. At no time will you hear a baby crying. You will see a baby, nothing. But they put this in my paperwork. Just like I say, once again, the steps that they took, the drastic steps that they took just to get the property to say, well, you know what? You see this bad stuff that we can put on your record. Just give us your property, walk away, and you don't have nothing to worry about. So, I have a 70-year-old mother, and I just took the plea. I took the plea. I had to do probation, still going through the probation, almost done with that. And, like I say, once again, it's a journey and it's not one time did anybody want to approach me. Even during this eminent domain, the attorney didn't want to, I had to get an attorney to have them talk to them to even discuss anything. They didn't, because I have so much evidence against them. They wanted me to stay quiet for so long that when they filed this paperwork on me for the eminent domain, it's a tenants in common, and it lists two companies and myself on there to be claimed to be plaintiffs for when they do the filing. They list the
mhm,
companies and then list me because when you list an individual, they don't need an attorney. So since they knew I didn't have no attorney and they knew if I did gain an attorney that they can say something to them, which I don't know what they told them, and an attorney would drop them. And since they knew that, they kind of it was pushing the eminent domain without me being on there. So once again, it was really a legal due process even to get to this point. So I had to, luckily, I gathered an attorney and they working things out and they're doing the best they can. And it's a shame that I got to these people late. They're in Dayton, Ohio. They're the best attorneys. And if I'd have got to them sooner, it wouldn't have dragged on like it did.
right. Yeah. Well, man, I hate that it's come to this, because you bought a nice piece of property and then it ended up being, a better investment than you realized, it seems at first. And then now there's all these problems, man. I hope everything gets resolved quickly. And, we'll be definitely keeping up with the story and, just trying to see what's going on with it and hope that comes to a great resolution for you.
yeah,
Man,
we
yeah,
we
I appreciate that. Thank you. And
yeah, we
really,
pre
I don't do a lot of social media. I don't be on social media. So when you reached out, I checked y'all out and y'all do great work. And I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta rock with these guys. I gotta tell them a little bit of the side that nobody don't know. Give them a little exclusive and hope that helps everything out on y'all end. And and much congrats to what y'all have going on also.
Yeah, man. Well, we appreciate it. And thanks for coming on and hanging out with us, Jason.
Man, no problem. Anytime. And if I get any more updates or anything, I'll definitely reach out and let you know, man.
Yeah, please do, man. Have a good one. And I hope your mom's doing well as well.
Man, I'll tell her that, and I appreciate it, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day.
All right,
Yeah,
you too. We went a while without TikTok.
We did. We did.
And now TikTok's back.
Yeah.
And now there's some stuff going on, some potential wrongdoings.
That's what you were
People
telling
are
me.
using
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah, so parents and states are suing TikTok for psychological harm to teens. And with the mental health background that we
Right.
both live in, man, like I want to talk this out a little bit. That is the one app, and there may be others that are
Yeah.
like newer, like that. My wife's not a big fan of really,
Yeah.
and she keeps up with stuff more often, so she didn't really like us having any TikTok or the kids having that really or anything. And I don't know enough about social medias, like on what makes that so much different than Instagram, and I don't know if it's something like algorithms or the stuff they allow or what.
Like on TikTok versus,
Yeah,
well,
because I hear people speak bad about TikTok, but not
Yeah.
much Instagram.
Instagram is social media too. It
Yeah.
sounds like you said,
Oh, no, I know they're
social
both
media
social
versus
media.
Instagram.
Yeah, my bad.
But no, I don't. Yeah, I'm not big on TikTok.
Okay.
Like I get on there every once in a while.
Mhm.
But I mean, as the report's saying, you said psychological harm. So are they suing for like emotional distress, or are they suing for like?
I think a lot of it is like how the algorithms are showing up,
Okay.
and then I think too, like a lot of kids, they get glued to the phone.
Yeah.
And glued to whatever the social media, is, and parents aren't liking the result of that.
Is there, and this may be a dumb question, I feel like producer Angel will know this, but does TikTok have like parental restrictions where if you have like a kid that has an account, I wonder if there's like, oh, they're under 18. And does that block certain like reels, or is it pretty like free game? Like you search whenever and it just pops up? TikTok. Either or, TikTok or Instagram.
Oh, I didn't know they didn't have anything like that. So yeah, I could see where that becomes a big problem.
So Instagram doesn't have like parental restrictions and things like that. Well, yeah, I mean, that would make sense then.
Let's get back to that a little more. Our next guest is jumping on, man.
All right, Rojo family, we're back. And today we have Donna Jean Wild with us, like we talked about earlier. And she has a pretty cool record, Mark, that, I mean, she crushed.
Well, here's the reality. Like I think you're minimizing it by saying it's a pretty cool record, because I actually did some planks this morning and I was doing like 2 minutes and then rest and 2 minutes and rest. So why don't you tell us what your plank record is?
Okay, my planking record that I broke the Guinness World Record was 4 hours, 30 minutes, and 11 seconds.
Good grief.
I can't even sit and watch a 2-hour movie, and you're in a plank position for 4 hours.
I can't sit and watch a 2-hour movie either. But when I'm planking it, I guess it's because I'm doing something very physical, then that's probably the only time I can be still.
That is phenomenal. Right. Like how long? Because I mean, you have to just have a lot of specific plank training in your workouts, right? So how long have you really trained for getting to those kind of numbers?
Well, it was from the time I started planking, it was 11 years. So I can tell you the quick story
Oh yeah,
about it. If you like, I should though. I should ask you if you knew, I'm not sure you do, that I broke another Guinness World Record.
Well,
Did you know that?
I heard that you broke another one. And I wanted you to share that with us, because I know you just broke one recently, right?
Well, it was like soon after. Do you want, like, it was the most push-ups in an hour for a female? I don't know if you knew that. I did. So I broke another Guinness World Record last year. It was 1,575 push-ups in 1 hour by a female.
1,500 I don't know if I've done 1,500 push-ups in 20 years. No.
It's kind of crazy.
That's-
When I think about it, I really, really, Mark and Austin, I can't really believe that that actually did happen and that I broke 2 Guinness World Records. But I guess what we're saying, what you mentioned before we went on air was, it's just, you just want to like be physical, do better, feel better, be healthy mentally, physically, emotionally. And it's little by little, right? Bit by bit, we just get better at what we do. And that's kind of what happened.
So give me the breakdown on the push-ups. Like that was wild because like in the Army you'll do like a 2-minute PT test, and how many push-ups you can do in 2 minutes. And the only rest positions are essentially like a what they call it, like almost like a downward dog basically,
Right.
or you can like sag in the middle. I'm not sure what that would be called. And we would do it for 2 minutes.
Well,
Like
so in an hour, it was the amount of push-ups you could do in an hour, but you could have breaks in between.
okay,
Right?
okay.
So it wasn't continuous. So when I was training for the last little bit, like the last year, when I knew that I was going to
Mhm.
try and break the world record for planking, then I added push-ups into my training. So I would do hundreds a day. So in the
Right.
back of my mind, I'm like, I am falling in love with doing push-ups. I'm going to have to look at, what the record is to see if
Right.
that's even possible. But yeah, I
So-
can tell you. Yeah.
So like when you first come out and you're doing your push-ups, when you broke the record, like do you do a big number and then you kind of break it down and do small numbers, or what was your approach?
That is such a good question. So I kind of practiced a little bit different ways and
Okay.
watched the previous world record holders, of course. So I just had in my mind to do 30 a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So I could break it down in any way that I needed to, except when we sent in all the footage and we had to have slow motion video and we had to have footage from every angle and we had to have like judges there and then send it all in. And then I waited because they had to judge every push up and make sure I was at a 90-degree angle with my elbows. But it could be in my mind. So I had a clock right in front of me so I could watch the minutes. So in my mind, I would either do like 30 in a row or 15, 10 and 20 or something. And then I could back off and then add more if I wanted to. But that's kind of how I organized it in my head.
Well, my next question was like, how did the whole judging competition part go? So you're saying you had cameras like all around you, you had judges there in person as well, like counting every push up. And I mean, it sounds like a whole team of people had to be a part of that.
That was so it was different from the planking. So the planking, because it was so many hours, it would have been really hard to do it ourselves. So we had an adjudicator from Guinness World Records. She
Okay.
came and she was there the whole time, just like watching me, walking around me, making sure I didn't move a muscle. I couldn't do anything. My husband could give me little sips of water. But so we had an adjudicator there, and then if she was okay with every single thing that went on for those 4.5 hours, then at the end she presented me with the certificate. And we had a film crew. Guinness had a film crew come from Calgary to be there. For the one that was the push-up record, we could have had an adjudicator come, but we thought we could probably do it on our own. So we had two. They had to be like trained fitness or just in that field, people from the community, from the area. So they came in. Both of them were judges and checked off every single push-up I did and counted. We had a counter there. We had cameras all around. Then I had to put it all together and send it all in to Guinness and wait.
Now, now, which one would you say was the more difficult to compete or complete?
W well, I would have to say the planking.
Right.
The push-up to me was like a breath of fresh air because I felt like I was in control. I could do as many as I could, take a break, have a little drink,
Yeah.
take a breath, go do more, and I could move. And when I was planking, I could
Right.
not move.
Right.
So what were you so when you're planking, like, what are you thinking about, if anything? Or is it more just like a mental state, you just kinda check out and zone in and
That's such a good question. If I back up a little bit, over the past, like, 11 years before, so way back, I broke my wrist, um, in while I was teaching school. I fell in the gym, kind of a long story, but I had this cast done. I was devastated. I couldn't run, I couldn't work out, I couldn't do anything, and then the 5-minute planking craze was kind of coming around in 2013, and so my family, my grown children, decided to have a competition in our yard, and I had a cast, and I thought, "I can't do that, I'm so sad," and then I have such a hard time not joining in and doing everything I can do. I'm a little bit, yeah, on that little bit hyper side, but so I got down on the ground and I could plank with a cast, not very long. Like it was
Right.
about a minute and a half, you know, like everybody who tries it is about that, but I
Yeah,
could do something.
yeah,
So I just, the next day, I tried again and I could. Eventually, while I had my cast, I started reading off my phone, doing my lessons, whatever, and I just made a habit, and then months turned into years, and I kept planking through all those years, and I told my family always, "Don't tell people I plank because they will think it's crazy," but I started planking while we watched movies just because I like to multitask a little bit,
yeah,
and, anyway, so then, um what I as a teacher, I I kind of help students create, toolboxes that support. I helped a lot of students who needed extra help during school, you know? So, when I was doing my master's degree, which I did while I was planking, by the way, I did my entire master's degree planking. We learned how to do toolboxes. So, I'm getting to your question. So, these toolboxes that we helped students with would be like, if they had a little bit of anxiety, what's in your toolbox that we already created? Well, maybe it's go for a walk. Maybe it's get a drink. Maybe it's sit in a favorite chair. Maybe it's chew a piece of gum, you know, like something that will help. I fell in love with personalizing toolboxes and making them so that they help you. So I had toolbox for when I was on the platform. So at first, I could hold my phone. So for a while, I held my phone for the first couple hours until I just can't even move anymore. You know, like I can move my thumbs as long as my wrists were down on the platform. So I had it all planned out every minute. And even today, I still plank. I still plank for hours because everything I read or text or email or anything, if I could do it from a sitting position, then I plank. It's kind of weird. I love it so much. It's just crazy. So those hours on the platform that I was pulling things from my toolbox, my favorite stories, some music. I was able to have earbuds for a while. Smiling at the crowd that was in there. That was one of the things, right? Thinking of things I had memorized, of stories, of different things. And so I tried to keep my mind concentrated and also visualizing
yeah,
like what I looked like and stuff. So,
right,
anyways, I felt like I was pretty busy there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's awesome. Now, so like to be your friend or family member, and like maybe somebody's wanting to sit on the couch and eat a slice of pizza or something, it's got to be the most uncomfortable thing wanting to do that. And you're planking right next to them. So it's like I would set my slice of pizza down and plank with you or something.
So, a lot of my grandkids plank now, right? Because through
Right.
the years, they just know grandma. They have this just kind of a crazy grandma. But
Right.
so my husband has tries it sometimes. He'll, you know, because he usually sits beside me while I'm planking. But I tell you, it was such a pivotal moment for me, that whole thing that happened in our yard,
Mhm.
where that became me. It just became such a part of me that I love so much. And of course, it's not that easy. I mean, it's
Right.
planking, right?
Mhm.
I mean, like, obviously, but I love it so much that I
Awesome.
it's just, it just makes me feel good. And the beauty of it is that anybody can try it. Anybody can do it. You don't need equipment. You don't need anything special at all. But it's just the same with everything else. Like, if you practice, you get better. That, aggregation of marginal gains. I'm sure you've
Right.
heard that before. Like, slowly then suddenly. And
Yeah.
so it's been so fun to make new friends like you, Mark and Austin, and talk to people, and people say, "Oh, I tried it," or "Our family had a planking competition," or, "I'm up to 2 minutes now," or "I hate planking, but now I'm swimming again,"
Right.
because I want to keep going.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah,
Awesome.
so that's
So,
been super fun to do that.
yeah. So what led up to you wanting to like break records? That's something you've always wanted to do, or kind of what were the steps led up
That
to?
is not so through about, I think it was like just the beginning of like the pandemic or something, around 2019.
Yeah.
My family said, "We're gonna have another planking competition," so they just wanted to see how long I could go. So, anyway, so that was probably the very first time that I just really, really was determined not to move at all, and
Right.
just stay really still and see how long I could. So it was about, I think it ended up being about an hour and 50 minutes, like not quite 2 hours. And so then my family wouldn't leave me alone. They're like, "Mom, grandma, you need to, like, people don't do this.
Right. Right.
Like, you need to, like, try." And I was like, "No, no." But it's kind of started in the back of my mind thinking maybe, but I won't tell anybody.
Right.
Right.
So over the next few years, then I just really tried to concentrate a little bit more on, because the record was 4 hours and 19 minutes.
Mhm.
That's what it was before me. And so I was a long ways from that. I never really thought I would do it, but in 2023, in January, I said it out loud to my husband, Randy. I said, "I think I'm gonna try it." And he's like, "Okay." Like, he's just like, "Go for it." He's like, "I'm sure you can do it." He's just so easygoing. He's like, "Great." So
That's
that year, 2023, then I started consciously training every minute I could. Even like the strangest places we would go, and if there's nobody around, like just plank and try and get hours and hours in every day of
Mhm.
cumulative minutes. And then I got, so it was pretty easy, not easy, but I could do it about 2.5 to 3 hours without moving pretty good. So then January 2024, I s- said to my husband, "I think I'll apply because it might take a while." So it took about 4 months to get it all set up, to get accepted and everything. But during that time, like during 2023 and those 4 months in
Mhm.
2000, or I guess it's 3 months because it was March 21st.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was intense training for it, but still always reading, always planning what I would read, get stuff out of my toolbox. What's going in my toolbox today? What am I gonna use today to do that? But yeah, it just kind of came about that way. And then a lot of little things just right before kind of happened. Like, I was a coach for quite a while, like a high school coach, and took some training. And then when I was doing my master's in university, I had to do visualization stuff. And so that whole, right? Like, I read all about what athletes do and they're visualizing and all of that. So yeah, so there's lots of little miracles, lots of little things that helped out.
So now, so you've got the planking record, you have the push-up record. If you can share, if you don't have to, if you don't want to, or you don't want to bring it out public yet, but is there any other records that you're kind of playing in the back of your mind, or is that a secret for another day before we reveal it?
Well, a part of it's not a secret because I actually have applied for another
Okay.
record, but I haven't heard back.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but I get that asked. I get asked that a lot, like
Mhm.
all the time. And so, yes, I do have a few other things in my sights, but I think it's not that I just want to break record. I think I've just like found like it's just a goal, right? We need something. Like if it's
Right.
I've never run a marathon. I love to run. I'm a runner. But if you have like a race you're going to do, right? Or a competition that you're doing or something, a group of people that are doing things together or something, then you're more likely to kind of push yourself a little bit more. So yeah, there's another one in my sights. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but we'll see. I did apply.
Well, see, I don't think planking would be Austin's just because he doesn't read. So I think if you don't read, planking's going to be tough for a long period of time.
Yeah, reading's not my favorite.
And he
my-
can read; it's just a choice. So the teacher, you might want to get on to
I
it.
even have I have a bachelor's degree. I don't know how I got it, but I don't have got it.
But
So-
that does help. You kind of forget about it. It's kind of strange to say. You kind of forget that you're planking. Probably like, I guess, if you ran a marathon and they say like, however, when you're at, I don't know how many miles, 15, 16, 17 or whatever, you feel like you could run forever. That kind of thing kind of happens to your body and just, I think it just like goes completely in a different state or something and you could just like sit there.
Yeah.
But
So first thing when you get done planking or you got done with the push-up challenge, I'm thinking more the planking just because I'm out of time. Like, what's the first thing you do after that? Like, are you like, man, I just need some food, or you know, like I just need ice bath, or like what kind of thing do you do after that?
well, I'll tell you, when I was on the platform, I had practiced how to actually get off the platform after. Because after planking that long,
Mhm.
if I put my head down, like if when I'm done, I'll never lift it up again. Like I'd be like there for 5 minutes. And so I thought
Right.
that's not gonna look good on camera. So I really practiced how to get down. But the day of the Guinness attempt, the day that I broke the record, it was in the high school where I had been teaching, where I'd been administration, and it's connected to the elementary where I had taught for years. So all the students were there. People were there from the community. It was a full theater. They're cheering. So at the 4-hour, 19-minute mark when I actually broke it,
Right.
and they're all cheering, I could just feel, it was so emotional, but I could just feel that just a drain of strength, right? Because my emotions were kind of taking over and I thought, oh boy, like I could just feel that. So then my husband comes over and he says, you need to go 10 more minutes. Like you can't stop because you broke the record. You need to like go at least 10 more minutes. So
Right.
to try and pull myself together. Anyway, all I wanted to do, you guys, was go hug my grandkids. They were all there cheering, grandma, grandma, grandma. That is all I wanted to do. But I had done it so much, like trained,
Mhm.
that I knew it wasn't going to be a real long recovery. I was stiff, of course, and I was like, you know, stiff and
You were
sore.
like
My
hug them like
elbows were raw,
Yeah.
but I knew it wouldn't last very long. It was hard to like step forward a little bit, but I just got to those grandkids and just hugged them and everything, and then it was fine. Yeah, I was a little stiff after, but
Yeah, I imagine they were doing more of the hugging, and you were just like,
yeah,
Come in.
they were.
no. So one thing, like I had read that you're a retired teacher, and you've talked about that a good bit and everything. And one thing I want to mention, kind of in closing, we were playing some pickleball a couple days ago, and I was playing with some of my sons out there, and we had a friend out there. We were just picking on her and having a good time. But when we finished, she's like, "Oh, I used to be an athlete," and I was like, well, what's stopping you from still being an athlete? And when I see you being able to do these amazing things, like after retirement, when a lot of people are like, "Hey, I've done everything I need to do. I'm just going to relax." And you're doing these phenomenal things, like that's such an encouragement and inspiration because I that's not normal, but it's a good not normal.
Well, thank you. I kind of feel like it is how active you are is
Mhm.
just so related to how you feel, right?
Right. Oh,
So
yeah.
during my master's, I got to kind of choose my focus. Of course it was in education because that was my line. But so I chose brain and behavior and studied so much about it. And all of us kind of know the like the dopamine, the serotonin, the endorphins that we can get going. But it's so true. And those ignite when we're active and our minds are active, right? And that it just snowballs and
Mhm.
makes you feel so good. But I could read you like a couple quotes that I are just my favorite.
Yeah.
Um, one of them kind of I made up myself because people just kept asking me how. And, you know, maybe planking 4.5 hours seems like no one can do that, but actually we can, right? What is it that you would like to do? I have this little book. Oh, I should tell you. I don't think I mentioned this. I'll quickly mention a couple of things. So, after I did the planking, I had hundreds and hundreds of people tell me that I needed to write down my story. So, I wrote a book.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
awesome.
It's on Amazon. I forgot to say. It's called From Minutes to Hours because that's exactly what happened. It was from minutes to hours. And then the subtitle is I wrote this book while planking, which I did. I wrote it while I was planking. So all of my whole story, I wrote it from my heart. It's just like all the things that are dear to me that really helped me get to that point, right? All of us at
Awesome.
positionality, whatever point we are in life, it's because of what we've had. But here's another favorite book. This is just a kid's book that I fell in love with.
Was
Why not you? And it talks about why not you? What do you want to do? Break through the ceiling, break through the clouds. Like, what is it that you want to do? Well, let's just go and go for it. So that's kind of fun. But this little quote has been said in many different ways. So in my book, I kind of just paraphrase it in my words. What we do with the minutes each day creates the life that we have now. If we want to create a different and better life, we need to plan for and change what we do with our minutes starting today. So that's all it is, right? Just what are we doing with our minutes? That's that's what's going to help us. That's what's going to drive us forward, help us to attack the day, the next day. What are we going to do? What are we going to plan? What are we going to write down as our goals? And it's magic.
I
We
love it.
just improve. It's
Oh,
just so magical. Yeah.
Well, I'm upset I'm not planking during this
I
podcast.
know.
Like,
Actually, give me a few seconds.
Maybe that's why I asked if I was going to be audio or video. No.
We should have came
yeah.
on like planking, like, hey, we're down here. Can you see us?
Right. Well, hey, one of my best friends and mentors, he's 60 and he still stays incredibly active and runs and works out and everything. And his dad is in his 80s and he still runs and plays basketball and works out.
Isn't
And,
that right?
that's been an inspiration for me and you're a new inspiration for me. So, give me just like in closing, give me one thing that you would recommend for somebody like maybe I'm just kind of on the couch a little too much, relaxing a little too much, and I need to get a little more active lifestyle. What would you recommend or what would your encouragement be to that person?
Well, I would say it won't come if we don't plan for it and think about it,
Mhm.
right? It just won't happen. So if we have that kind of goal in our mind that we need to set, um, every night I set out things for the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So I still do it. I did it all through my training for the world record, and I still do it today. At nighttime, I don't take my phone. So I feel like you have to plan. You have to be conscious, like consciously making goals or consciously thinking, forward thinking. But how do you do that? Well, you need to put things in your mind that's going to help you do that. So I still do it every night because all of us want to hit our alarm and go back to sleep, or we want to sit on the couch, or me too. Like, so I put my alarm, I put my phone in a different room. So when it goes off, I have to get up and shut it off. And I have beside there a little heater I could turn on to be warm, my workout clothes. I put ice water in the fridge, a stick of gum because I love chewing gum in the morning, and something to read or listen to that will help me during the day. That's uplifting, inspirational, a book, whatever it is, a podcast, one of your podcasts, something. And I do immediately plank because that's what I do, and read something, and then I get a little bit warmed up, and then I'm ready to like go work out. But if I've read something in the morning that's inspirational, like, I have so many in my head. Here's a poem. A tree that never had to fight for sun and sky and air and light, but stood out on the open plain and always had its share of rain, never became a forest king, but lived and died a scrubby thing. The man who never had to toil to gain and farm his patch of soil, to win and share, I can't remember it. The man who never had to toil to gain and farm his patch of soil, who never had to win his share of sun and sky and light and air, never became a manly man, but lived and died as he began. Good timber doesn't grow with ease. The stronger the wind, the stronger the trees. The further the sky, the greater the length, the more the storm, the more the strength. Through wind and rain and sun and snow, in trees and men, good timbers grow. And deep beneath the forest growth, there lies the patriarchs of both. And they hold councils with the stars, whose broken branches show the scars of much toil and of strife. This is the common law of life. So that's just a poem I have memorized, but I have a few in my head. If you read in something inspirational, like, yeah, you're right. Something that's like had everything given to them out in the open plain isn't going to be strong. Like, you got to have opposition. You got to have things that hit you hard. So if you're prepared, that's what I feel like. If you prepare your mind, being a teacher, I just would push that. Prepare your body by exercising. Just prepare what you want to do. It will help you during the times of 2:00 in the afternoon when you don't know what to do. So you read that again, or think about your goals, or at nighttime when you sit on the couch, pull that out again and read what you read in the morning of I can do because I do, or something. Okay, I won't sit on the couch. I'll go walk or something. But I really feel like we need to fill our toolboxes, fill our buckets. And then when we're feeling a little bit weak or down, we just pull out those tools that we already put in. So
That is awesome. Well, thank you so much. And also, there's a good recording there, Rojo family, of her reading out the poems, from memorization. So you can just get that recording and listen to that when you're doing your pockets in the morning. So, but we appreciate having you on. You've been so much fun. And everyone go check out her book as well. And
thanks.
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
Thank you so much.
But no, we appreciate you coming on. It's been fun, and we'll definitely stay connected with you and hear about the future journeys.
Thank you. Thanks, Mark and Austin. It's been so fun to be on your show. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce myself. I don't believe that we have ever met.